What's up, everybody? This is Major coming at you with another kind of cool video. In this quick video, I'm discussing fuel storage, how to safely store some fuel, what I use to store, and some of the creative ways that you could actually store your fuel. Now, if you're in an apartment community or duplex or something, you may not be able to store fuel, a lot of it. So, what I advise you to do is make sure at the least you get you an empty 5 gallon or 1 gallon gas can to keep in your vehicle without fuel in it. Of course, you can't store fuel in your trunk, in a closed trunk, uh, for a long period of time, especially in the heat. So make sure that you're safe. You make sure you research and make sure you don't store fuel in your trunk and then forget it's there and then leave it and it gets hot and kaboom. So at the least keep a empty storage can in your vehicle so that if you have a situation where you have to go get some fuel quickly, at the least you can go get that to have to take back to your location or to put in your vehicle. Now let's get into the video real quick. This is not going to be a long drawn out video. I'm no expert at fuel storage. I just know that in the event that you need it and you got to have it and you don't have it, you're going to be up a creek without a paddle. So it's always best to have too much than not enough. Okay. I always think if I overstore, as long as my money that I'm investing in the storage of this item doesn't go to waste, I'm better off having too much than too little. I think you would agree with that as well. So listen, let's get into a couple of different storage containers that I keep around. I generally store, anywhere from I don't know, 50 to 100 gallons of gas at any time. The reason I do it is one, I have a lot of equipment that I use. I got log splitters, chainsaws, we got zero turn mowers, we got ATVs, so on and so forth. And I also keep some extra fuel for the vehicles just in case we get into a pickle like the last time. You guys, you see, in America, we forget so quickly what has already transpired. And then we go about our business like, nothing's wrong, everything's getting back to normal. Well, that's, hate to say it, that's probably the furthest from the truth. Nothing's getting back to the normal that you thought was normal before. Everything is digressing, going down. If you're in the right circles, maybe you're going up on a few moves. But we're in a time in history, once again, um, where things are moving back for the masses. If you're not in those elite groups, it's coming down. Things are coming down. So anyway, we want to be able to be in a position and have options available as opposed to not having options. So fuel is one of those options. Most of us live a little ways from the stores. If you're in the city, you might be able to walk, take a bike. I would highly suggest, if you're in close proximity to the stores, 15 minutes or so, 30 minutes or whatever, one of your preps should be a bike. You should have a bike. I would have a tactical bike with all kind of gadgets on it so I can get in, get out. Matter of fact, I have me a foldable bike, the one that can fold up and open up. Put that bad boy in your vehicle. Anything ever goes down where you can't drive your vehicle, whip that bike out, roll out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you're within distance of all the stores and stuff where you need to get stuff, if they're open, you could ride a bike. You don't necessarily need gas. But if you live out in the boonies, the closest store is a 30-minute drive, an hour, whatever, you're probably going to need some fuel. You want to have enough just in case, like I said before, the situation turns south and there's fuel shortages, long lines, or just the pumps just have the little black bags on there that say out of fuel. So I don't wait until my vehicles are low on fuel before I go get them. I have a habit of filling up at the least at half a tank. I get nervous when I get close to half. I go fill up right then and there. My dad always told me, son, if you drive in car and you in this little system we're in and you got to go to work and you got to go make money and you got to pick up your trip, you got to have the gas. If you're using the vehicles, you got to have it. Don't matter if it's $4 a gallon. It ain't gonna matter if it's $10 a gallon. If you need it to do what you got to do, you're gonna have to get it. So you might as well store some. Right now, the price is what it is. Next week, It could double. We don't know. Hopefully none of that happens. But I remember back in the day when gas was 50 cents a gallon. I know I look young, but I got some years on me. 50 cents a gallon, 99 cents a gallon. That was high back then. $1.50. We're nowhere close to those marks anymore, and we're probably never going to get there again. It's only going to go higher from here. So all this stuff I'm saying, y'all see it every day. You know I'm telling the truth. So let's just move on. So this is not conspiracy theory or hype or a bunch of scary stuff. It's just what you're seeing out there and what I'm seeing. So back behind me are these fuel cells that I keep fuel in. The green ones back there are 5-gallon totes. Now check this out. I bought those from an auction, an equipment auction. They sell for like $6 each. So I bought up like, I bought 8 for $48. They used to hold motor oil. So whoever had them cleaned them out. You can't feel any oil. A little bit of oil in your gas ain't gonna hurt none of it. The car will burn it up. The engine will burn it up. But these are cool because they got those handles on both sides, so you can handle it real easily. It almost reminds me of those NASCAR fuel cans. Like you just pick it up like that, fill it, and then boom, you off to the races. Now what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to find some spouts I can screw on there, look like those NASCAR race car fuel cells they use. And if I had some spouts, man, I can just dump that in real quick order, fill up, or 5 gallons worth anyway, and boom, have some fuel in the vehicle without much trouble. Now I'm gonna tell you where you're gonna run into trouble. I mainly use these other receptacles, the one in red. I use those just for storage. Here's why. If you buy any of these that actually have these little short spouts, you're gonna notice real quick, you ain't gonna never get any gas in your car with this. It's too short. And then with this contraption, you have to squeeze the button, push down to release the fuel. You're never gonna get any in your car with this. So if you get a bunch of these and you buy a bunch of this style and you think you're gonna use it for your car, on that day that you need it, you're gonna not have fuel. You're gonna be storing all this fuel but not be able to use it. So you gotta have the right tips to fit the right equipment. Now this is good for a lawnmower, this is good for weed eater, chainsaw, leaf backpack blower, even an ATV, four-wheelers, motorcycles, but it's not gonna work for cars. Spout's too short. So this one, this is the newer style they sell. It's got this spout. See how fat that is? That's never gonna fit the hole that goes to your car. You don't have enough spout to even get fuel in here, and the angle that it's at, you can't tip this and get fuel to go into your car. You got to push this button and push down at the same time. This one's only good for equipment, okay? Small engine stuff. At the least, you have to have the old school nozzle, which is longer and narrower. It has this little plastic protruding piece that lets you rest the weight of the fuel in the can on the lip of what you're pouring it in. But if I had to use this for my car, I'd just take my knife out, cut that little piece off, go straight in there, and we in business. So at the least, if you're gonna store up a bunch of fuel, you gotta buy a couple of them that have this longer spout. All you gotta do, if you got one long spout, if you need to get fuel out of the other ones, unscrew this one, put it on the other one, and then use it. You can interchange your spouts because they all fit the same down here on the screw arm part, but up here you got different lengths and different sizes. So make sure you're getting some that'll fit your vehicle. That's really important. You don't want to have a bunch of fuel and you're going down the road, you get low and you're going to put some gas in the car and it's 15 degrees out and you can't even put the gas in the car. That would be jacked up. So let me show you another one I got just for some extra backup. And I really bought this I bought this one. I got 2 of these 24-gallon tanks. They can be used for fuel. Now, fuel storage containers are typically, I think, a different color, like a darker color. This one's more for water and spraying, stuff on grass or whatever. This was built to put on the back of an ATV or something. And you got the spout here at this end where the fluids are released from. You can also screw like a water hose on there, and then you got your cap up here that lets you open it up and fill up. Well, in a serious situation, if I had to get some gas, some more, because I saw things were digressing even more and things were getting short, but I could still get some, I would just throw these. If you got a truck and a trailer or a pickup truck, this tank works perfect. You just put it on your trailer, on your truck, fill it up, come back, get a dolly, take it off, and there you go. Liquids weigh about 8 pounds per gallon. So if you got 24 gallons, you're gonna have about 160, 170 something gallons, 180 gallons of weight with this little tank, because each gallon is, I believe, 8 pounds. So with that being said, you better have some way to pick this up too. These are for the straps that you typically would strap around this and tie down to something so that this tank doesn't move. And then it's got these cool little handle areas where you can just pick it up like that and move it. So that's pretty cool. Now, one of the main things you got to get with your fuel storage, and this video, man, I got to get this, I got to go. I got some other stuff to do, but I wanted to share this with you. I'm already 11 minutes, so let's expedite this. Let's go. This is SuperTech fuel stabilizer. Get you some of this. Put it, the measurements are on the back. It's like 1 ounce adds to 2.5 gallons. And what this stuff does is keeps your fuel fresh. It keeps it from getting all gummy and sticky, especially in small engines in the carburetors. You let them sit over the winter and then they don't want to start in the spring and summer. If you didn't add a fuel stabilizer or you didn't remove the fuel altogether, more than likely it's not going to want to start on you unless you've been cranking it up. That's what I do. I crank all my stuff up a couple of times a month. All my generators, all my chainsaws, ATV, wood splitter, lawnmower, so on and so forth. I crank all my stuff up. I like my stuff to keep running. I like my seals to stay flexible. If you let stuff sit for a long time, the seals start to get hard and they start to crack, and that's when you start getting leaks. So it's better to just keep stuff warmed up and tuned up by running it than anything else. The more you use it, the better it probably stays. The less you use it, the worse off you are. So fuel stabilizer, go buy some of this. If this gets in short supply, we all kind of in trouble, because they got so much ethanol in the fuel. It's gonna gum up at some point. Now in your regular vehicles, it may not as much because you're running it all the time, but still, just to be safe, I go ahead and add this to all my fuel to make sure that if I keep it for an extended period of time, it's still good. Hopefully it's still good. So let me show you something else real quick. Now, to go along with your fuel storage, if you're trying to prepare for situations, anytime you got a car, there's always a situation that can happen. We don't have to be at the end of the world event, some big catastrophic event to have a situation. All it takes is you're driving and you got busy, kind of forgot where your fuel was, and you're getting low, and boom, you're in the middle of nowhere and you run out, or you're somewhere, but you don't have access to a gas station. I keep one of these in each vehicle. This is a little pump. It's got a diaphragm pump system, and what it does is this. It's got the markings here, so in on this side, out on that side, so it tells you how to do it. So this hose will go into where the fuel is. See how long that hose is? You can reach down inside of another fuel tank. You can reach down inside of another small engine or some container or something that doesn't have a spout, and then you would put this side in your vehicle, and then as you pump, the fuel sucks up through this side, comes out this side. Now, I've used these before. They work. It's a $10 part at Harbor Freight Tools. Go get you a couple. Put one in each vehicle. This one might save your life, might get you home. Now, there's always going to be fuel in other vehicles. If you think like a prepper who thinks really extreme things can happen, which they can. That's the world we've been living in, and we're getting a lot closer to those more extreme things occurring more frequently. So you got to be prepared for that type of stuff. If I had to siphon some fuel out of some, now it doesn't mean I got to take somebody's fuel. I might trade somebody something and say, yo, can I get a gallon so I can get home? You might say, yeah, I just filled up, going, all right, what you got? I trade them something, I get a gallon. I got this device, helps me get home. Or maybe I just got to get some fuel so I can get home. Vehicle over there, maybe it's disabled on the side of the road because of some other reason, but it's got gas in it. Bam, I can give me a little gas, right? And I don't take this as Major told me to go buy one of these at Harbor Freight so I can steal people's gas. That's not what I said. Don't even think that. All I'm saying is, in a serious situation, when your life or somebody's life is on the line, you got a way to get some fuel. You also got a way to transfer it from your own small engines to your car, from your car to your small. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. It doesn't only do fuel, it does fluids. So you might be taking some type of component from one place to another. This will help you do that. So pick you up a couple of these, throw them in each vehicle. Be ready, because you don't want to end up necessarily using the old school one where you got to suck the hose and suck the fuel through. You might get a little fuel in your mouth. It ain't gonna kill you, but you know, if I can pump it and that works, boom, that's what I'm doing. Check this out, this other pump, after you use it, here's a tip they don't necessarily put on the instructions, or people don't read it. Make sure after you use pump fuel through here, you suck some water through, some clean water, and get it to cycle through and exit the device so that it cleans that fuel out. That little diaphragm in there, it's probably rubber or something. If fuel stays in there too long, it'll eat that up. It'll make it crunchy, where it's not flexible, where it won't move. See, this has been used several times, but I always clean it out after I'm done so that this works. When I didn't do that before, this got stuck. Whatever's in here, that diaphragm that makes this move and pump, got jammed up, stuck, and it was junk. I had to pitch it. So that's just a tip for you. This video kind of went a little longer than I wanted to, but listen, stuff is, expediting. It's not getting better. So I don't like to speak like that. I'm still going to speak positively, but in the reality of it, things are good. I'm good, but what I mean, around me, things are not getting better, if that makes sense. So I have to call a spade a spade. You can't call an apple an orange and then somebody understands what you're saying. An orange is an orange, an apple is an apple. So as I see it out there, it's not necessarily looking better yet. Hopefully things will turn around at some point, but you better be prepared for them not to. It'd be better to be prepared for them not to turn around very quickly and you be prepared than to think everything's just going to wash over and everything's going to be back to normal or some kind of normal. There's never been a normal anyway, but this is even more so abnormal. So look, this is Major. I hope this video helps you. Get your stuff stocked up, get your house in order. I appreciate you watching the video. Click the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check out my other video on my channel. I've got farm shares available for our 40-acre farm. Check that video out. It's going to tell you what farm shares are. You need food for you and your family. I'm going to share my farm with you. I'm getting my list compiled of people and families that want to be involved with that. I'm not accepting everyone, maybe only 10 families. I've only got 40 acres. You'll be able to bring your children out, help plant the food, grow the food, nurture the food, pick the food, process the food, cook the food, eat the food. Or if you don't or can't get to me, we're going to ship your food to you. So that's a really cool thing. We're going to have camping out there, tent camping. I'm going to be doing a lot of survival training, basic survival training, camp out survival training, firearms safety training, hand-to-hand combat, self-defense training, stuff like that for you and your family. So if you're interested in any of that, hit me in the comments. Do not leave your phone number. Do not leave your email address. It's scammers everywhere. I'll put a link down there for one of my websites. You'll be able to click on it and it'll go to my contact page. Enter your information in there. I'll call you from there. We'll contact each other from there. This is Major. Watch your six out there. And until the next video, peace, peace, peace for you and yours. Later.